What is going on, ladies and gents? Once again, Michael or Legacy Kill HD back here today with another top upcoming games video for you. And we're going to be discussing 8 amazing open world games coming out in 2017 and beyond. Now, if you've missed any of the past videos discussing some of the other open world games, make sure you check out the links in the description and the annotations on the screen. And also let me know in the comments what open world game are you looking forward to the most in 2017 and beyond. Nonetheless, let's begin here at the number 8 spot with Of Kings and Men. It's being developed by indie developer Donkey Crew. It's a third-person multiplayer persistent medieval war game. It's set in the 13th century with both European and Eastern influences. You play as a character in a vast open world full of alliances and conflict, with an emphasis on player-driven experiences. The biggest and probably the most important part of this game is the epic, which is the persistent open world, which will allow you to build your own kingdom, battling hundreds of other players in the process, while also being able to explore the open world that they've created, being able to discover many different types of resources that may help you with your faction. And Of Kings and Men strives on the factor where you can make alliances and it's all about politics, pretty much allowing the player to create their own story and play whatever way they want to play. What I really like about this game is that we're going to have a lot of different types of choices that we'll have to make. We're going to be able to construct our villages and our towns, and over time that'll turn into something much bigger, but we're also going to have to battle with other enemies and somehow have to make alliances, and for what we know, we could be betrayed. There's a lot of decisions that we're going to have to make, and each of them will have a consequence or a reward. And this game currently is in its early access, and I'm really intrigued to see what the final product of it will be like. And now to the number 7 spot, we have Wild. It's an open world survival adventure game being developed by Wild Sheep Studio. It's set during the Neolithic period in a procedurally generated world with a seemingly infinite size. Smaller animals can be used to spy on others, while also larger animals can be used to support the player and their tribe in fights with other humans. Animals can be controlled by using shamanic-like powers, which allows players to possess an animal within the gameplay, moving to the point of view of the controlled creature, and then proceeds to using the skills and characteristics of that animal. The game will also feature dynamic weather as well as seasonal variations, and obviously multiplayer. And it's also noted that we will be able to control every creature that's in the world, such as wolves, sheep, fish, eagles, bears, and so on. But we haven't heard much out of this title as of late, although it seems Wild Sheep Studio is hard at work adding upon this open world, and I'm very much interested in seeing how this all will play out, seeing what type of storyline could come out of this, and seeing how player versus player gameplay will be utilized. Now to the number 6 spot, we have Elex. It's an open-world science fantasy-themed action role-playing video game being developed by Piranha Bytes and published by THQ Nordic. The plot reads that players will be joining the war for a powerful resource, Elex, which gives people great magic-like powers as well as to decide if emotion and humanist or cold synthetic logic will rule the world of Magellan. The game world will be a mix of futuristic and medieval locations in a post-apocalyptic setting. Players can use guns, swords, and magic against enemies in the game. It is full of original characters and mutated creatures. And the developer Piranha Bytes are best known for their franchises Gothic and Risen. And so far what we've seen out of this gameplay, the pre-alpha gameplay, definitely seems like they have a lot of work to go with, but I really like the premise behind this and I think it could be amazing, but a lot of their other games have had mixed reviews, so I guess only time will tell. And to the number 5 spot, we have Northern Shadow. It's an open world sandbox indie RPG with city building elements. It is played exclusively from a first person perspective, and the game will be utilizing the Unreal Engine 4. And this title has been compared to Skyrim with city building elements, and it's for a good reason. The title looks absolutely stunning. It's only designed by a couple of guys. They've been working on this title for years now. The open world of Northern Shadow is said to be about 200 square kilometers, and comparing that to Skyrim was only about 38 square kilometers, which is definitely impressive, but there will be a question about how much lore and substance is behind the game. And the open world will be featuring a variety of geographically different areas with different cultures, and the game will also be featuring a season cycle system which can not only change the look, but the structure of the map. The game will also be featuring a story or quest line, but we really don't know much about it yet, but the main focus of this title is really the city management, and pretty much building up your kingdom and also defending it. And I think all of us can agree that this title does look impressive, but the developers have been very quiet as they have moved the game away from Unity to the Unreal Engine 4, and they're hard at work bringing this game to life, but hopefully these ambitious ideas become a reality because there are some other indie teams out there that have not delivered the experience that a lot of gamers expected. But either way, hopefully we get a release date and some more news soon. And at the number 4 spot, we have Dual Universe. It's a continuous single shard sandbox MMORPG being developed by indie team Novacork. It's taking place in a vast sci-fi universe, focusing on emergent gameplay with player-driven in-game economy, politics, trade, and warfare. And this title began on Kickstarter, but it got hurt by No Man's Sky and the reputation that it has here in 2016. But the developers did state that they will be transparent about everything, and some of the game features include creating your own spaceships, building cities, satellites, and there pretty much is no limit to what you'll be able to create on whatever planet you're on. And there will be a realistic in-game economy, and it will be influenced by the masses. And as I said before, this will be a true MMO universe. The developers have made a unique way that they'll be able to handle a lot of players at once so they can share the experiences in a single continuous undivided universe. From everything I've heard about this title, it's very intriguing. I know it's going to take a couple of years of development and they're aiming for a 2018 release date, but they have been very transparent, understanding a lot of gamers being nervous over some of the other titles out there, such as No Man's Sky and the reputation that it has garnered here in 2016. But they're going to be using voxel technology to be able to create all these cool little buildings, cities, and spaceships that we'll be making within the universe. And let's be honest, being able to play with a bunch of other guys exploring a universe, I think that's going to be pretty awesome, and there's endless possibilities of all the hours and hours of fun we'll have. But I know a lot of people will be asking themselves, will they be able to deliver on all these high hopes? And to the number 3 spot, we have Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. It's an open world first-person tactical shooter in development by CI Games. It takes place in the modern day with a series of conflicts between 3 hostile factions. A proxy war and a civil war in Georgia also begins. In order to prevent another Cold War from happening, players must take control of a retired American Marine named Jonathan North as he proceeds to Georgia to find and eliminate its intruder with whom he shares a dark past. And the game is based on 3 different pillars: target, execute, and survive. The game will also feature an open world which is scattered with different activities and side missions known as war crimes. CI Games have made a very beautiful world. It's going to be a lot of fun to explore and see what type of side missions will be coming alongside it, and also experiencing the gameplay. It seems like there's a lot of different types of ways that we'll be able to execute each mission, and I'm also hopeful to see if the story does have substance behind it and hopefully gives us a lot of fun. And now to the 2 spot, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's an action-adventure video game under development by Nintendo for the Wii U and the company's upcoming mysterious platform NX. The story is set in Hyrule and follows protagonist Link, who awakens from a 100-year slumber to a mysterious voice that guides him to a quest to defeat Calamity Ganon. The game will be including an advanced physics engine, as well as the ability to play through the game's dungeons in any order. Throughout the game, Link will be possessing a piece of technology known as the Sheikah Slate, which provides players with a map and allows Link to create waypoints and investigate enemy stats. By discovering various runes, this technology can be upgraded with various powers, including creating bombs, controlling objects with magnetism, and stopping time around objects and enemies. Now, I have very fond memories of playing some of the older Legend of Zelda games with my dad, and it has been some time since I've actually gotten to that franchise, but with this trailer and the announcement of this game, the direction that they're going with this is phenomenal. I love the moves that Nintendo's going with. I'm sure there's a couple things that people are a little questionable about, such as Link now being right-handed instead of left-handed, but nonetheless, this may be the most anticipated title going into 2017. Now to the number 1 spot, we have Cyberpunk 2077. It's a planned open-world action role-playing video game being developed by CD Projekt Red, the developers of the Witcher franchise. The game aims to be mature and ambitious, with character customization being strongly tied to the plot. Planned features include a non-linear story with different character classes, as well as both first-person and third-person perspectives. Cyberpunk 2077 will feature a dystopian futuristic world in which ultra-modern technology coexists with a degenerated human society. It is set in an open-world large city called Night City, whose inhabitants communicate in non-English languages. Players who do not speak the languages can buy a translator implant to better comprehend them. Along with the single-player story, Cyberpunk 2077 will also include a multiplayer component. In May of 2012, Cyberpunk 2077 began its pre-production, and CD Projekt Red described it as being far bigger than The Witcher 3. Reports have stated that the studio began production recently in 2016, and the release date will not be until 2018, as the game has not been easy to develop with changes in hardware, as their studio began upgrading their game engine after The Witcher 3's release. What CD Projekt Red did with The Witcher 3 was absolutely stunning. It was a masterpiece of a game. Everything about it, the story, the gameplay, the graphics, the DLC, it was just a phenomenal experience. That's why everybody's looking forward to seeing what they will do with Cyberpunk 2077, and it seems like it's only going to be bigger and better. And with CD Projekt Red upgrading their engine, you can only imagine how much better this game will be looking and playing. And based on that E3 teaser trailer of Cyberpunk 2077, it makes me very excited to see the next step from CD Projekt Red. Now, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smack that like button if you did enjoy the video or found any informative value. Also, drop down in the comments. Let me know what open world game you're looking forward to the most in 2017 and beyond. And also, don't forget to subscribe for a lot more additional top upcoming games videos such as these. And don't forget to check out some of the other past videos, such as some of the other open world games that we've discussed. And I'll see you later.